Thank you for tuning in to Mona Lisa Late Night. Grab your glass and let's get started. But before we get there, please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. We've got merchandise, we've got t-shirts, we've got cups, we've got totes, we've got everything you need. We've even got my book, Life After the Diagnosis. So, let's go ahead, grab your glass, bottoms up, let's start talking. All right, good evening, everybody. Evenings with Mona Lisa Monroe. Hey, hey, hey. Hopefully you turned in to the pre-show before this show. I wanted to sort of give you a taste of what we're going to be doing tonight, and also just a taste of the book, because March Madness is all about authors and publishers. So if that's you, please inbox me and let me know, because I would love to have you on the show. It's all about you guys. It's hard to put your thoughts and feelings on paper. Believe me, I know. How do I know? Because I, my friend, am an author. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So let me get this out of my face. Hold on just a second. I had no idea we had to. Okay, hello. Okay, so welcome to the show tonight. It's all about the authors and the publishers. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully I'm not sticking. This morning, I want to apologize because we were on location and the Wi-Fi just was not good. I'm going to have to do some working on location, because on location, I got to make sure all of my ducks are in a row. So I want to apologize for this morning, but you are here with me tonight. So I don't want to waste any time. I want to jump right in. March Madness is all about authors and publishers and people that want to write a book. Mona Lisa, I want to write a book. I just don't know how to start. Well, I'm going to help you. Mona Lisa, I wrote a book, but I'm trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to get my book out there. This is the show that you need to be on, authors and publishers. So if you missed the pre-show, I actually gave you a taste of this baby right here, Life After the Diagnosis. This is my baby right here. Yes, I am an author. I can say that. Where do you get my baby? You can get my baby on Amazon, Amazon Prime, or my website. Yes, my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. This book, Life After the Diagnosis, tells you my journey of when I was going through the storm of leukemia. Leukemia, what is leukemia? Leukemia is a blood cancer, my friends. And it is something else. If you know of anyone, or you are anyone, or you are someone who is suffering from leukemia in some shape, form, or fashion, lymphoma, myeloma, any of those, I would like to. I would like for you to be on the show to talk to me about that, because this is just one of the many things that I am really trying to promote. I want to promote people that have went through the storm, and the rain. Okay, it's important. It's important. So you made it. You made it. And that's something to shout about. That's something to testify. Somebody ought to testify. Yes. And I used to sing that song at Austin. You guys, Austinites, you don't remember that song? Well, I testified. And in the pre-show, I was telling you how the journey began, how it all started. And I left off at a point to where people, I want to say faith-based people, believers, I left off when it's just you and the Lord. And I want to say that because there comes a time to where your faith is tested, especially if you, like I said, if you're a Christian or a believer. There comes a time in your life to where either you believe what God says or you don't. And when I was in that EMS emergency vehicle and I was on my way to the hospital, I thought it was over. I really, really did, because that person that's a paramedic, he told me that my blood pressure was very, very low, like 30 something. And he was telling me, he was like, I can't believe you're breathing right now. You need to get in this truck, you know? And here I am with pajamas on. And at this 2010 in January, it's freezing. And like I need to be freezing. But I got in there and I really had a talk with the Lord. And I simply said, I'm not ready. I still have children to raise. I still want to see them grow up. Lord, I'm not ready. And that's where I was riding in the back of that thing. I just really had to be honest with myself and just, I'm not ready to die, you know? And so when I made it to the hospital, they were they were working on me. I tell you no lie. They gave me a total of 6 blood transfusions. And I do believe 3 of them happened that day, that night. Because if you missed the pre-show, I was telling you that I was bleeding for weeks. And the doctor, my gynecologist, was telling me that it's normal for people of age. No, it's not. So ladies out there, if you have a heavy menstrual, that's not normal at all. Get that checked. And if you are anemic, get that checked, because I was that as well. And when I would bruise easy, and my bruise would be long. I would have that bruise forever and a day. If that's happening to you, get that checked. So when I rolled into the hospital, they were working on me, giving me blood transfusions, trying to get blood in me and trying to find out why was I losing so much blood. They were trying to work it out. And to my remembrance, and I tell you no lie, they thought that I lost a baby. They actually thought that I lost a baby. That's how much blood we're talking I was losing. So me going in and out, they just assumed. So they rolled me into labor and delivery. Yeah, they rolled me into labor and delivery thinking that I had lost a baby. So finally, when I came to, they were like, I'm so sorry for your loss and da 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 da. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they said, you lost the baby. I said, no, I didn't. And they were like, oh my goodness. So we need to take you out of labor and delivery. So when they took me out of labor and delivery, they took me to a regular room, and they were still trying to figure out, why was I bleeding out? What is happening? And so next thing I know, they come and wheel me to the ICU. I'm in the ICU going, what is happening right now? And to this very day, if you guys can ask, matter of fact, if someone remembers coming to see me in the ICU, please let them know my state of mind and my forbearance. I mean, I was literally good with my understanding, right? I'm thinking, I'm cool. What is this big deal? But people, I was in bad shape. They still couldn't figure out why I was losing so much blood. And then finally, a blood doctor. What do they call a blood doctor? Hemo hematologist or something like that. He came, and I will never forget the words that came out of his mouth. He came to my room, and then that's when he said, Mona Lisa, you have a form of leukemia. And then he said these words after that, but it is an acute form and is curable. Now, that right there makes me want to shout out the door and around the corner, because the but and the curable is all I heard. I didn't hear nothing else after that. I didn't even know what leukemia was. So when he told me but and curable, I said, what do we need to do, doc? He said, your body is really weak right now, but we really need to do chemo, like right now. And I said, chemo? And he was like, yes, because leukemia is a blood cancer. We got to get you in the chemo. We got to do some chemo right now. So I said, okay, whatever we need to do, let's do it. So they're rolling me to another room to get a bone biopsy. Now, if you don't know what a bone biopsy is, let me explain. They go into your hip bone, okay, and they crack it. They break your hip bone. They dig in to get marrow to test and see what type of leukemia, how aggressive. They can tell all of that from your bone marrow. So not only am I getting blood transfusions, I'm losing blood, I go and get a bone biopsy. Crack the hip bone, get the marrow out. They do not put you under anesthesia. They numb your hip. That's it. So they crack and dig into my hip, and I'm still in the state of this bleeding, weak, all of that. And I think about it now, and it, like I said, it still gets to me, because just imagine having to go through that as weak as I don't know what. No blood, barely getting through, and you got to do that. So after the bone biopsy, I'm wheeled into my room, and that's when they start the chemo. I've had so much done to me at this point. They're trying to find a vein. This arm has been punctured so much. This arm has been punctured so much. So they have to use my hand to have the chemo run through it. So we get going with the chemo. Now, let me say this. Most people get really sick doing chemo. Chemo is hard on you. It's just a miracle because I never got sick. I actually, after a chemo session, I was living in Austin at the time. After a chemo session, I would drive to Dallas. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So that's just tidbits. Yeah. Of this right here. That journey is something. That journey is something. So let me try and answer some questions that you may have. Let's see here. Answer some questions. Here we go. Why did you write a book? Well, I wrote a book because I wanted to document the experience. That's number one. And then I wanted to help somebody that knew somebody, or if they were going through the same thing. I wanted to help people. So that was my main reason. And it was so difficult, like I said, to put it on paper, to have time to do it and have the money once it was done to get it published correctly. Now, some people are self-published and they getting it done and da 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 da. But for me, at the time, it was rough. It was rough. So that was my main reason, to be able to document my experience. And this is forever, like for me, this is my legacy. This is forever in history, something that's tangible of what happened, because other than that, it's just memories. And it's my thoughts because no one else is in my head. So this was everything to me, to put it on paper and to be able to share it with someone so it can bless them or help them through their journey. So that was the reason why I wrote the book. Document for my legacy and to help someone out there that might be going through it. Question number 2. How do you think your book will make a change? Well, I'm hoping that the book makes a change, because after you read it, you want to have a better prayer life, or be able to share more with your family, or be able to be in touch with your emotions and your feelings more, and for you to be able to say, if Mona Lisa did it, then I can do it. Then you could write a book. So I'm hoping that it'll make change in everyone's life that reads it. It's my first one. I'm working on the second one. Like I said, the time and the money. The money and the time. If it comes together, it's magic. But yeah, I would hope that it makes a change for whoever reads the book. I hope it changes your life, your journey, your thing with your thoughts, all of that. I hope it does. That's my hope, that it will change you. How did you get started? Oh my goodness. If it wasn't for Johnny Sanders. How did I meet up with Johnny? I think I met Johnny at a conference of some sort. Man, I forgot how I met him. Johnny, I'm gonna have to reach out because I forgot how I met you. But he was telling me that he was an author and he's a publisher. And when I told him my story, he was like, "You got to put that on paper." And I was like, "I'm trying." So he actually helped me tremendously to put it on paper. And man, oh man, when he let me read my thoughts and read it like a book, I mean, it was just incredible. I will never forget the moment that it was done. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. So that's how I got started. I met a publisher and told him my thoughts and what I wanted to do and told him about the book, and we just took off. We just took off. So that's my thing for anyone who wants to write a book. Contact a publisher that you trust, because some people might take it and run with it. So be careful. But find a publisher that you trust and take off. Get it done, right? Just get it done. What are some lessons learned in the journey of being an author? Oh, like I was saying, you got to be able to trust your publisher. You got to be able to have money to get it published and to pay your publisher. Hello. And don't try to sit down, and this is just my thing. Don't try to sit down and write the whole book in one night. I would say write a little bit at a time. Word has came a long way, baby. Word, you could actually write your whole book on Word one day at a time, edit it, put it in book form. You can do all of that now on Amazon and Word. It's a beautiful thing now. So I have no excuse. I need to go ahead and finish that book. But take some time out every day and write a little bit. And I'm taking this in too, because I need to go ahead and finish it. But bring it in, zone in, write a little bit, and then when you get stuck, take a break. Take a break. Because the lesson I've learned is don't try to do that in one night, because it's not gonna work. Point blank, period. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. What else you got? What else you got? What are some lessons learned in the journey of being an author? I just answered that. What is next for you as an author? What is next for me as an author? Well, I'm going to tell you what's next for me. What's next for me as an author is I want to finish the book, my second book. I want to finish my second book. And in the book, it actually gave you a sneak peek of what the next book's supposed to be titled. Yeah. So in the book, that's the Derek Raphael photo right there. In the book, towards the end, here it is. I tried to hold myself accountable and tell you guys, this is the next book. That's the next book. That's not the next cover, but that's the next book title. Living Life in 3D. Yeah. So it's coming. I'm working on it. Part 2, I ain't done yet. Boy, I was on fire, wasn't it? Woo-hoo. So what's next? I'm going to go ahead and finish what I started. And what is that? Finishing the journey. Life after the diagnosis, because I'm still living after the diagnosis. So that's the plan. I plan on writing my second book, and I got about 5 of them in me. Yeah, I got about 5 of them in me, and thank God I got more time to work on them now. Thank God. So, authors and publishers, sound off. I started it off tonight by giving you my information on my book, but every Thursday, tune in the morning and in the evening for the new authors and new publishers that you might not know. Hopefully, we'll get this thing going with this on location thing. Um, but we'll have it ready. We'll have it ready. Trust me, we're going to have this thing together. The devil is a lie. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I started this train going, and we plan on having some more authors and publishers on the show. Looking forward to every one of them. We might just have a show on a weekday that's not on a Thursday. Wouldn't that be something? Who knows? I catch you slipping. Don't play. Talk to you soon. Bye.